Good morning and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche with Lori and Margarita. I am Dr. Lori Monaco from Align Yourself Inc. I am coming to you this morning from Southern Connecticut. I am a life coach specializing in transformation and mindfulness practice, and I am also a holistic practitioner, and I'm known as the Badass Buddha. And my host?
Hola, mi gente. Namaste. Here is me, La Margarita, a spiritual and creative healing life coach. I love to say that because I love that. Coming to you from Tampa, Florida, by way of Bridgeport, Connecticut. So make sure you put in the comments where you're from. Buenos dias, and let's get started.
And she is known as the...
Oh, and I am the gladiator guru.
Good morning, Margarita. How are you this morning? How is
I'm good.
You look beautiful. You look very...
Good morning, Lily.
Gypsy.
Thank you. Oh, good morning, Janet. Lillian says good morning, ladies.
Janet, how are you feeling this morning? Janet had surgery.
Let us know where you're from.
So let me put ourselves on here. Good, good, good. And who else? Oh, my cousin Anna is on. Good morning, Anna. Glad you're joining us. This is
Hello, Anna.
I think live, which is really great. And you might have watched the recordings, but anyway. So what are you drinking this morning? What are you drinking this morning? Let us know. We now, thanks to Margarita, we now have an Instagram page of Viva Cafe con Leche, so you can post your pictures of you and your mug or just your mug with hashtag Taza de Cafe. Oh my gosh, it's Taza de Cafe challenge. I wanted to keep going with it and say Cafe con Leche, but challenge, Taza de Cafe challenge. Okay, and do you have a different, what's your mug today, Margie?
No, it's just the little, just says coffee, the ceramic, it's like a beehive or an hourglass, a guitar without strings.
I bought a new one, and mine says, live with purpose.
Oh, I like that. What is it, purple? I like that.
Live with purple, because that's what life's all about. Live with purple.
Yeah, live the unicorn.
And it's it's like an oversized mug too, so it's like two cups.
I like it. I like the gold on the bottom of it.
Do you? See, I was like, I would have preferred a different color, but that's all it came in, so I was okay.
No, I like that. I like it. And what are you drinking today?
Are you asking the public or are you asking me?
Yeah, the public, I would like for those who are on already and those coming on to put where they're from. Like, are you from Bridgeport, from Norwalk, from Shelton? And what coffee brand are you drinking today?
Yes.
I think that's good to get a collective. I am drinking today Café La Llave. It's in a green thing. It's a Spanish espresso coffee.
Because she loves her espresso stuff. She loves that seriously kick-ass, strong-ass coffee.
I do.
I'm a wuss. I'll admit I am very much a white girl, and I don't like my coffee that strong. But I'm drinking the Door County coffee, which I bought like 3 packages of it when I bought it, and it's really good. I like their coffee. So what's new? How you doing? You were telling me before that you didn't sleep very well, but yet you still always look so absolutely in the morning.
Yeah, my hair's wet. Lily, thank you, Janet. Janet said she must say we look fabulously sexy. Lily is drinking Tai Chi from Norwalk, Connecticut. Janet's drinking Café Bustelo. Good morning, Lisa. Buenos dias. What are you drinking? What's in your coffee cup today, Lisa? And where are you from? Doji?
Good morning.
Belleza. Let us know where you're from and what's in your coffee mug today. Bustelo, Oh, what's the other one? It's my favorites with the P. Pilon, El Morro, or plain old Folgers for you lazy people who want instant coffee.
No, Folgers you still have to brew, don't you? But so the lazy.
Not all the
Remember,
time.
remember Taster's Choice? Remember that one?
No, I never did fake coffee. I don't do
No,
fake
no. I
coffee.
mean, you ever see it advertised? It was in
Yeah.
the glass
Yeah,
thing.
like an
I never had
hourglass.
that. Yeah.
Buenos
I had like,
dias, Koji. Yeah, I loved it.
I can't
Good
start a
morning,
watch party
Linda.
ever.
Yes, I remember all. I never, even Bustelo now has those little packages, those individual ones you can take on the go and just stir it with hot water. And to me, you take the whole orgasmic part of making coffee.
Well, we know that you're all about the orgasmic part.
But yeah, because it's a
20
process.
minutes. It's the 20 minutes. Well, listen, orgasms are a process sometimes. So, you know, it does you have to take time sometimes to get.
Yeah. You know what?
So even whether it's coffee or something else.
Some things are just never, like Lisa said, listen, they have instant bustelo too. It's 2020. I know I just said that they have those little packages, but it doesn't mean, Linda says, I'm drinking Folgers and it's not instant. Well, enjoy your.
No judgment. No judgment here. No judgment.
No,
here.
we're not judging. Enjoy. I just said enjoy it, Linda. Enjoy it. When you're in Florida, you got to come over for my coffee.
Anna says Anna's drinking dark roast in Albany, New York, and she said, you ladies look wonderful. Thank you, Anna. We had to kick it up because of our conversation today, which I'm hoping that everybody is going to get in on, because we want engagement from the audience. We want to see the comments, because it's going to be a fun conversation, and we're going to tease you with that a little bit, because we're going to get into that in a moment. So we do need to say that if you have anybody in earshot that is young, you probably want to get them away from the computer or whatever you're listening, your device, because it is going to be a hot conversation to talk about. And, you know, Margie, I was just thinking about that this week and next week, that's all the conversation has to do with. It's something about sex. So we could call this the sex summer, the 2-week sex. No, this doesn't sound good. I had something in my head this morning or last night or something like that. The
2-week sex course.
The sex conversations for the next 2 weeks. We didn't really do it on purpose that way. It just fell that way. So we're going to have a lot of interesting conversations for this week and next week lined up. And so it's a great way to sort of veer into the end of summer, I suppose, even though we're not quite at the end of summer, but before you know it will be there. So this is going to be an exciting conversation. So yeah, make sure that, you know, if anybody's around that you don't want them to hear the conversation, then make sure that you're somewhere where else you need to be. Put some headphones on.
No, I think it's wonderful. Hold on, because Linda, I love, Linda, that you are having conversation. Linda says that taste of choice is what they use in jail, and they make that instant coffee taste better than Bustelo. And you know what, Linda? I believe it. I totally believe it. Good morning, Frank. Yeah, so these 2 weeks of conversation are going to be fun. They're going to be adventurous. We would love your total participation in it. Today, Lori and I are going to let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about. And then Thursday, we have a male, right? Which his bio's coming. So this Thursday and next Thursday, it's men who are our guests talking about orgasms and
masturbation.
There you go. We got this.
Oh my goodness.
It's going to be phenomenal. So remember, hashtag Viva Cafe con Leche, hashtag Taza de Cafe Challenge. Now you can just post your mug straight to Viva Cafe con Leche Instagram. I tried to put them up. I still have some more that I have to find. It's so time consuming to post. Like you really have to just say, I need 30 minutes to just sit here. Don't talk to me. Don't interrupt me. This
Yes.
is got to get done. But yeah, so, and it's the end of the month. And remember to like and share this. Let's share this info. So I think a mug, even if you take them with yourself, with just a mug, I prefer it with you because it's nice to put a face to the mug. And let's get this started. Dress
So
them up.
we've had some really nice creative pictures of people taking their mugs. I mean, it's not just they take a mug. They have like this whole setup, which is just so really cool.
That's what I was just going to say. Dress it up. Put some
Yeah.
little madeleines next to it and some flowers, or go sit in your garden, or take a shot of it in a bubble bath with you with a mug. I mean, get creative. Let's make this fun.
Bubble bath.
Let's make drinking coffee very orgasmic in the sense that it gives you that second breath. Good morning, Maria Garcia.
And
yeah.
we do need to make a special shout out to Frank because
yes.
we're running a little bit behind, and Frank called us. And, we're thinking, oh, it's probably, did something happen? Because, like, there's so much going on, because he's the actual connection between the two of us. He's both of our brother-in-law. And he calls to find out where we were. Why we were like 2 minutes late. And he was,
yeah, exactly.
we love that devotion, Frank. Thank you. We love that devotion. And we're hoping that you all feel that same way and you share. We want to start seeing over 500 views. We keep like waxing and waning, but come on, we want to go above and beyond that. We want by the end of the summer to be seeing at least 1,000 views. Maybe not live, but afterwards. So we need your support on that because we are so fabulous and we have such great conversations, and we need to spread it around and let everybody see. So we appreciate your support and get it out there. And we've been a little slack on not that we've been a little slack with the contest winners because we just don't have product yet. We're still putting that together. But the moment we do, everybody's going to get, whoever wins the coffee challenge, the coffee mug challenge, or the sharing challenge. So we'll get everything out to you guys. All right. So what time is it? 8:16. What do you want to do, pretty lady? Do you want to begin our conversation, or do you want to say anything else? Or
well, I think I would like for you to read the setting the intention, the beauty.
Sure, absolutely. So basically, the show is about you, and it's about conversations and togetherness and connecting and having a cup of coffee and being real. So we would like for you to set your intention for your day today. Make it a beautiful day. Be as positive as you can be. And so with my beautiful co-host's words, this show is about inspiration to see beauty, set the mood for your day, inspirational and motivational, bright beauty. It's meant to spread love, laughter, talk about life, find the beauty. We are responsible. We make ourselves responsible for the tone that we set for all of you. And so let's set our intention for today. It could be whatever you want it to be. It could be that you have peace today, that you have love, that you have laughter, light, whatever it is. Go ahead and set your intention for the day, and then we will begin our conversation.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful. Because remember that anything we set out to do, anything that wounds us or makes us happy, that's from inquiring within. If somebody wounds us, it's because we allowed it. If somebody adds to our joy, it's because we opened up and allowed it. So be intentional with you. And I was having this conversation last night only because, with everything going on, with mom being in a nursing home for these past couple of weeks and me wanting to go catch a case because of it, it's about, I have to just with everything going on around me, we forget to make ourselves a priority.
Yes.
And we forget to see the beauty around us because we're busy being busy.
Yes.
And then we rob ourselves. And then we get attitudes. And then we, it's anything everybody says, oh, you're aggravating. And it's really because we didn't center ourselves. Because we didn't take the time to take a deep breath from our core and to say, okay, this is what I have to do. And I have been like loving all that's been going on, because it has proven to me that I have controlled my rage. Even though I rolled up at the nursing home, I've controlled it because it could have been a whole lot better. So when I walked away from there, I was like, oh my God, I'm growing in that I'm astonishing myself, you know? So it's all about that. And I just think that, remember, no one can aggravate you and no one can add to your joy unless you allow it. So let's just be sitting in that place. And Lori's my life coach. And it's like, when I can put it into words, then it can see how she holds me accountable, even to my emotions. And then she does it in a way, I don't even know if she realizes it, or maybe she's that good that she does. But because we know what we got to do. But we get so busy and caught up with everything exterior that we forget how to nourish ourselves, how to celebrate ourselves. And I think that by allowing yourself to see the beauty, everything Lori just read, and for some reason I can't retain it, to sit out and listen to the birds, it's that simple. It's that simple to rejuvenate yourself. So let's focus at least between 15 to 30 minutes a day, whether it's early in the morning, sitting out in the moon, whatever, just sit with yourself and be grateful. And I did a little video yesterday because I was so caught up with homework and preparations for everything that I was supposed to do my celebration of life, but I'm going to do it today. Because just because I'm going to do it a day late, I'm still here, so I'm still celebrating. So let's just do that. So on with, let's talk about sex, baby. I miss it. It's going to, I miss it. I miss everything
so
about
our topic. Let's talk about sex. The questions, we're going to have a lot of questions here. And we're going to obviously start the answering to the questions. But so questions that we came up with are, do you like it? What do you like? What don't you like? Regrets? Do you have any fears? What you learned? And it's about knowing yourself. So we'll end the conversation, or it'll probably be peppered out about knowing yourself. So I guess if Margarita said she misses it, she likes it. So
like it. I was born for intimacy and orgasms.
yeah.
I had an orgasm my first time ever having sex. And I don't even care who's like, oh, she's saying that. I said it because I lived it, because I felt it. And it was just...
And she'll say it again on Thursday.
My rites of passage.
Orgasms.
Huh?
And you'll say it again on Thursday when we're talking about orgasms.
Yeah, but okay. See, I get excited.
No, that's what orgasm is.
You can't have sex without the explosions of orgasms. Okay, go ahead.
So let's talk about this. So like, how old were you, would you say, that when did you like sex right from the get-go, for like, when you were instant with somebody?
Instant.
Yeah.
I was 15 years old and I lost my virginity, and I was like, in the beginning, and then I was like, what's that? So it was just an instant fear to joy, fear to, what's this? Yeah. Yeah.
What did you like about it from the beginning, and then like as you have progressed in your age?
Well, from the beginning, I was having this conversation the other day with my granddaughter, of all people, because her and her cousin, they're both, one, I think they're both going to be 18, or one already turned 18. Because I've always been in control. Like, I've always been in control of me, not controlling the sexual experience. So I've never been someone to just go with the flow. I don't take one for the team. If you're doing something wrong, I'm going to be like, what are you doing? This is not how I like it. So call me a drill sergeant or whatever. But I've never had a sexual experience to where it was awful and I didn't like what they were doing to me, and I didn't speak up. Because they don't know my body like I know my body. So I've always been like, no, we do that later.
What are you doing down there? That's the question. What do you?
I'd be like, forget it. We got to work on that. So either they laugh with me or they get offended. Well, if you're offended, then practice, buddy, because obviously I must not be the only one saying it. So yeah. So I've never taken one for the team. I don't feel that that's something that I am going to, I have braids in my hair, so I feel like it's not fluffy. It's not something that I'm going to sacrifice just not to offend anybody, because first of all, if I must like this person if I'm sharing juices with them, right? That's one. Two, maybe he just never been told, so he keeps making the same mistake. So I'm a friend. If I'm your friend, I'm gonna tell you, listen, you're not doing it right.
You're doing a public service. It's,
So, and that's how I feel that because sex is such an exchange of energy, and I'll explain that later. And I feel that we need to be, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, we need to be honest in that, because that's like a whole different realm when you're intimate. Even the foreplay is such an intimacy that it feels like you don't even exist in the world where you took your clothes off in. So I think that if we go into it feeling that it's a whole other universal experience, we can enjoy it more. How do you have sex and not enjoy it? Every part of it.
That's how you have sex and not enjoy it, if they're sucking.
Well, then say something. That's what I'm saying. You have to be your own advocate.
No, but you could say something and they still stink, because like you said, go home and practice, like if they really, so you must have been with bad partners before. Like have you never been with a bad partner?
Twice, and then I'm like, I can't do this. I am not lying. There was this one guy when I was about 15, before my he wasn't my first, but I was seeing him before that, and he would kiss and wet my whole face. It was like if a dog was licking my face, and I said, we can't kiss because you don't know how to kiss. And then after, like when I was about 16 and a half or something like that, we had sex. And I was like, it just took that one time. And he's like, what happened? Let's go. No, because, and I said, you're like a jackrabbit, blah, 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 and that's it. Like, I didn't enjoy none of that. And I was still a novice in this. And I think that I think intimacy or sex, even if you're just, a friend with benefit, if it's just sex and there's no emotional connection, which I don't believe that shit, because we all think, okay, so, Maluma sings a song, Maluma and Rake, and I love it. Amigos sing, what is it? Somebody help me with what that song is, because I love it. So, so even friends with benefits, there has to be some connection. Even if it's a booty call, you still have to have some kind of connection to want to go over or call somebody to come over to have that kind of exchange. But I think as women, and women who just, I don't know, because I'm not like that, so I don't know who is. I think we need to be honest with ourselves. And if we don't appreciate what's being done, then direct them. That's why when we have the conversation about masturbation, how it all ends, it's a very important thing to do, right? You need to understand it. And when it comes to sex, don't have regrets about staying a long time with a partner that's not satisfying.
I think it's an age, partially an age thing, and then there's an ego thing. So like, I think most men, when you tell them and you direct them, a lot of them actually love that, because they get into it, It's the ones that have the ego that are thinking that they know everything and they know how to do it. And if you say something to them, it bruises their ego, which means they're insecure anyway. And I think it's a little bit of an age thing. Like, I think as men get older, they're not as threatened by women saying stuff. When, like, if you're saying, oh no, do it this way, or I like it this way, they actually like hearing that. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, maybe guys, talk to me, but that's what I've heard from conversation. That's my own personal experience as well. But, we women, I mean, listen, bless you that you were that bold to know exactly what you liked, what you didn't like. You spoke up. I didn't speak up. I didn't like it for most of my 20s. And I was married to a guy for years. And he was terrible. Like, it was just awful. It was just so not exciting or anything like that. The irony is that he cheated on me so many times, and you would think he would have got better if he had all that practice, but he didn't. I guess, like you said, nobody was telling him that he sucked. I don't know. But so for me, I didn't let loose until, I was in my 30s, and that's when I really started to enjoy it. And part of it was just this social idea of it, and what I was raised, how I was raised, and how it was talked about, but once you let go of all that crap, all that head stuff, and just say, okay, you know what, this is a part of my life. I like this, and I want to, like, enjoy myself. It's such a game changer when you do that. When you just say, I'm not going to, like, read into things, or I'm here for me, and and I'm here for the partner too, because you don't want to sit there and be all about you. You want to engage with them as well.
In what? What do you mean, in conversation? Because I think that when you know yourself and what you like, then of course you're engaging with your partner, because you're sharing what you like, and then he shares what he likes, and you compromise, and you come to a place where you're both being satisfied by each other.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
So it has to start with being all about me when it comes to sex. It has to come about, it's about me. It's about what type of foreplay. It's about, oral sex doesn't happen right away with me anyway. But before you ask me to do that, it's a team effort.
Yes.
Because some people just like you to give them oral, and no, I'm all about oral.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you.
Yeah. So, but see, I go back, and when I created Magically Orgasmic, and the description of it, the feeling within the feeling of wanting, that's what I feel when I have an orgasm. It isn't about just an orgasm, because I can give myself orgasms. All I got to do is shave and walk, and that's it, right? I'm multiple orgasmic. So it's more about what is that when you're in that ecstasy, and you're that feeling. It's like you're soaring with the eagles. It's like the freedom. It's like a freedom you never felt. It's about believing that there's nothing you cannot do. So you have to go inside the orgasm. You have to feel and flow with it.
Well, and it's not even, you don't even have to be specific about the orgasm, because leading up to it, before you have it, it's that connection that you have with that partner. And it doesn't have to be that you're in love with that person. It's just the sexual connection.
No, of course.
If you're in love with the person, it's even more fun. But it's that connection where you both are very comfortable with who you are at that moment in time. And I think, and that's probably was where I was missing the piece until I got into my 30s, was that I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. And granted, my insecurities stayed with me until I was just about 5 years ago. So, but it didn't interfere with the sex piece in my 30s. It's just that I got over that piece of it, and I enjoyed sex a lot more, because like one of the questions I put on here is fears or regrets or things like that. So my fears were that I wasn't good enough. Am I doing it right? Am I satisfying the other person? Which was the wrong attitude to have. Like you said, you put yourself first, and then you got to know yourself. Like, you knew what you liked, what you didn't like, and then you flowed into it. See, for me, I was always like nervous, and like I felt like I was being judged, which I kind of was, because of some of the partners that I had in my 20s. So the regrets that I have, I didn't start doing that until I was older. Like I didn't lose my virginity until I was older. And I think that's one of my regrets. I don't believe in regrets necessarily. I think regrets are a waste of time, because it just keeps you in the past. But if I were to say, I wish I had started having sex earlier in my lifetime, like dating people in high school and having sex, as opposed to waiting until I was actually in college, because I think that would have made a little bit of difference. I think that's where it took me so much longer. Like being influenced by people. I mean, I remember when I was married to my first husband, I felt like I wasn't like worth anything, because this dude was just like, everything seemed like an effort. like that if we were gonna, it always seemed like he didn't really want to, and it was just the most bizarre thing, you know. And that gets to you after a while. That affects you as a person, thinking, you know, what's up with me? And so you do start to think that maybe it's you. But then I got rid of that in the 30s. And so I learned a lot about myself once I hit about 31 years old. That's when I really learned about what I really liked, what I didn't like, what I was, you know, how long I wanted it to last, who I wanted to do it with, how I wanted to do it. And it helps to have a partner that also frees that up in you if you can't do it yourself. You did it yourself, which is fantastic. It's really great. And I think a lot of women miss that. I think a lot of women hold back because we wait to see how we are with a partner rather than the other way around, which is what you did, which is absolutely fabulously empowering.
What?
You worried about, you took
yeah.
for yourself as opposed to worrying about somebody else.
I'm so happy too that I recognized that insight at such a young age, because let me tell you, there were experiences when I was like, that's what you have? I gotta go. You're not gonna waste my time. Like I said, I don't take one for the team. If I love you and you're having a bad day, I'm not gonna kick you when you're down. That's all right, baby. Maybe in an hour we'll try again. But we will try again. So but the thing is, because you know what? It's so easy for men to just have sex and that's it, have a sandwich. There's no attachment.
Yeah.
And we do have attachments. And although I was very young to understand that, and I remember, although that I started sex at a young age, and I still very much love sex. The whole thing about it, the whole romancing that leads up to the intercourse, you know, the conversations. To me, a sapiosexual, someone who can arouse me intellectually and then start foreplay. Oh my God, it's the whole 4th of July.
I agree with you there. Yeah.
You know, so, and then, so even still, like, even though the molestation and then being raped at 19 and then moving forward, that never like took away from what I knew about sex. Like I never blamed.
And that's amazing. That's amazing, because I can't tell you how many women I have met that have been sexually abused as a child or assaulted as an adult, and it's messed them up. And so it's amazing, your strength of how you separated those two. Like absolutely amazing. So good, you know, good for you with that. Well, so let's.
But wait, can we give a shout out to Carmen Nieves?
Yes, I was going to say that. Good morning, Carmen. Carmen's favorite topic, by the way. So, you know.
Yes, I wish you would chime in, Carmen. Tell us.
Oh my God. Listen, everybody's quiet. Nobody's saying
I know. Dodgy, what's your
Okay.
favorite position?
Okay,
Janet,
so yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Let's get into that now, okay? So we got 20 minutes left. Let's talk about like more detail here. All right. So let's talk about what you like, what you don't like, right? So like I'm all over the place. I mean, I'm definitely a person that's into it. Do you like long moments? You know, do you like short moments? I could take both. You know, some days you're just in a hurry and you just need to get in and get out. That's it. And, you know, those work for me. There's other times where, if you like that romance, you like that longer thing. So guys think that women aren't that way. Like they always think, and they portray that in the movies. Like women always want to cuddle afterwards and.
No, don't touch me afterwards. Don't be
Me too.
I'm
like, no, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. Just.
Yeah, I just had an orgasm, dude. Don't touch me. Let me be in my moment. Yes, and so, you know, like even my last lover, he's like, "Are you serious? Yeah, you're gonna interrupt. Yeah. Like my body's going through something right now, and I don't need you to touch me."
Yeah, Lillian, and I want to go to sleep. Leave me alone.
Lillian, tell us about one of your great experiences. Toji? Yeah, so I don't like to cuddle. I'm not a cuddler after sex. I just feel like I don't need to touch you right now. And right now I'm basking in the elements and in all of that, and so yeah, so you're absolutely right with that. I think sex is it's a moment thing, in the moment thing with the person you're with. So there are gonna be times where you want a 45-minute romp, right?
Yes.
But then there's gonna be times where it's just a quickie, and it's gonna feel the same to you because you've learned each other's body. Right. So the connection is like hand in glove.
Yes. But
and
I
the
think, but listen,
satisfaction.
you said something very important. You said you're going to feel the same way. So this is what happens sometimes when people are together a long time because they have so much crap in their lives going on. They start to shorten the intimate time together, and they do these little quickies just to satisfy one or the other. Like the man will want it because he hasn't had it in a while, and the women will just do it really quickly. But you got to be engaged. That's what I was talking about before. It's not even, you have to be a part of it. Like even if it's a quick one, even if it's 5-10 minutes, if you're both into that 5 to 10 minutes, it's huge.
It's a release of endorphins.
That's right. And you say, listen, yeah, we have to do it quickly, but you're into it. Like in that moment in time, you're very present and you are very connected to that person, and then it's done and over with. And then you find the time, to do longer stints, but it's still that connection. It's, so that's what I look for. I look for it's not just about just to do it to get it over with and done with, to say, oh, well, now you don't have to bother me anymore kind of deal. I've been there before, and it's not even good for me psychologically, emotionally. You understand what I'm saying? Uh-oh, did you freeze? Oh no. So I'm
I'm
like,
here.
okay, good, you froze for a second. I was like, oh no, don't leave me.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, I mean, so let's talk about positions. What do you like?
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about tantric sex. I love tantric sex.
I'm not shocked. Explain to everybody what that is.
Tantric, it's an ancient Hindu practice, and it's been on for like 5,000 years. Okay, and it's just a weaving and expansion of energy with one another. So you sit face to face with one another, and you breathe, and before you know it, you're breathing in synchronicity. So you're in sync with the other person, and then you feel their energy, and then your nipples start to get hard, and they start to get a hard on. But it's just the energy exchange and the breathing. Like you're breathing life into the other person. They're breathing you in, you're breathing them in, you're feeling their essence. And then it just makes for the rest of it to be beautiful. So what do you do in tantric sex? You start by turning down the lights and you stay off the bed. Because what happens when you lay in the bed to have sex? It's like your brain switch goes on like, oh, I'm supposed to be going to sleep. So a lot of the times when you start off having sex in the bed that you sleep in, you get aroused, but then in the middle of it, you're tired. You just want it over with. You don't even want to have an orgasm anymore because you're like tired. And so when I read this about it, I was like, that's absolutely correct. Like, although our mentality is this, but then we get into bed, it's like our brain's like, okay, it's sleepy time. So what the next thing is you loosen your body, because Tantra is about the moving energy, right? Through the body.
Right.
Shaking your limbs vigorously to energies and unblock your system before you start. Of course, you had a busy day. You interacted with different spirits, you prayed, you meditated, but your body is holding in, and all the joints, it's holding in all that absorb energy from the outside. So you have to, release it, unblock it. So like I was talking about the bed, it will trigger the sleep button in your brain. Means you'll be settling for a quick romp instead of a deep connection and loving sex, which is ultimately what Tantra is all about. So you get comfortable by lying down with your partner on the floor and slowly start to touch each other, taking your time to leisurely make your way around their body. So, and then you just
unless you're really, really horny, and at that point you just have to have sex. If you're really horny, then you're like, okay, I can't wait anymore.
But like when you first start a relationship with somebody,
and you hesitate to build up.
Yeah, but when you first start, it's like you don't really got to do much. The arousal is just
yes, I agree with you.
Well, Tantra helps you get that back after years of being in a relationship.
Right, exactly, yeah.
It's about just looking, like, cause do we really look at each other after 3 to 5 years in a relationship? Do we really notice features in that person like we did when we were first courting each other? So no, because life gets in the way, and it's not even life, because life is always going to happen. It's how you handle your life. Like you fall into a routine. you get comfortable. So then that whatever happens, like the person has to say, hey, I got a haircut today, you didn't even notice. Well, no, because I don't see you anymore.
Right.
So Tantra is a way to awaken your sex life, because if you're still together, there's some connection. Try something different. I mean, I'm not telling you to go out and get a leather whip or anything like that, or get the ball that you put in your mouth. If that works for you, for you, fine. But if you just want to awaken that sensual side of each other, then get a book on tantric sex. Get it. Hola, Carmen.
You know what it is? You know what? It's mindful sex. Like mindfulness practice is just about being aware, being very present, being in that moment. And so when you're teaching people how to be mindful in their day, you even say like mindful eating. You sit, you don't have anything, distractions, you just eat, you enjoy your food, you taste it, you smell it, you're in that moment with the food and you enjoy it. And this is the same thing, because it's that anticipation of like building up, being very present, getting ready for what's about to happen, which would make it a lot more mind-blowing, I would imagine. So, that's a good idea.
People say after X amount of years, that's why people cheat. No, it's always there. You just put it to bed early.
That's not always why people cheat. They cheat because they're just cheaters.
Oh, people cheat. People cheat. There's a lot of men and women who are so insecure that they need validation from other people, or they need to feel alive instead of just going to one another. But that's a whole other conversation.
Yes.
So yeah, tantric sex to me, is something that you should try, or at least read up on, and sit across from your partner. Even if you don't have to be undressed, just sit across from your partner and exchange those energies and allow your spirits to court each other again, because something brought you together in the beginning.
And discover, listen, here's another way too. You could, I didn't even think we would go this direction with the conversation, but this is a really good idea. Just rediscover each other too, but you have to make time for it. See, if you're going to do that, what Margie's suggesting, it takes time. This isn't like, we got 5 minutes. Let's, this is like, okay, listen, we've got an hour and a half to sort of do this, because it's a process. I love getting like massaged, like with my partner. Like I like, doing something, and don't get me wrong. I mean, listen, I'm a massage person. So there's the professional massage for therapeutic purposes, but then there's this intimate massage thing where you both do that, and you're both, undressed, and you're massaging each other, and you're getting to know each other and exploring each other, taking time with each other, seeing, looking at each other, getting into each other like that before you even get to that point. It's just like what you're saying. It's like you're building up, getting to know each other again, and it's very exciting. You're right. It does open up a lot more things. Well, in some ways, it might even actually close things, because there might be intimacy that's not there anymore, and that's really hard to come by when you're doing something like this.
Well, because routine will block you from that. But if you want to like enjoy the food, tantric sex, spend that time. But I also believe, like, if you read about tantra, is even if it starts off with over breakfast and being intentional with just looking at each other, no words, just look at each other, like really, really trace the person's face with your eyes, no touch. And then if you both do it with one another, and then that builds up, even if it's over breakfast every day for a week. And then guess what, when you're having dinner or wine one night and it's just the two of you and you're sitting across from each other, then let it flow. It's gonna flow, because you're already conditioning your mindset that that's a beautiful thing, right? So you're noticing things, and then you start to get to know each other in that way. And I think that I think you're worth it. I think sex, they have made sex to be such an ugly word, like it's like such a cheap word. And
yes, I agree.
Intimacy. And I think that, don't have regrets during sex. From today forward, don't have regrets. Be intentional. Speak up for yourself. Good morning, my brother Miguel. Speak up for yourself. Miguel. And I think that it's a beautiful thing. It's something that you can enjoy with your friend with benefits to your husband, because it's yours. It's
The
yours,
wife.
or
For
your
the-
wife. And I'm over here thinking about. So I think that it's yours to give. It's not anybody to tell you who you got to have sex with or who you're not. Just, use precautions. COVID, wear your mask. But I think, sex is sex. Don't have regrets. Don't have fear. Don't hold back from sharing what it is you want, or teaching them. We're so afraid that they're going to think we're whores if we tell them how we like it. I don't care what you think of me. I know who I am.
And the irony is that a lot of men don't think of it that way. We think they think of it that way. Most men are actually like, especially like I said, as men get older, they don't mind that. It's like in the beginning when they're younger, they sometimes think it's like an ego, like a crush to the ego, but they don't mind that. But so here's a little exercise that you can do. Write down, in your journal or something, the things that you like about sex, the things that, and maybe that you're not having right now. Like if it's lacking, what is it that you like? Don't worry about what your partner likes. Write down what you like, and then ask your partner to do these things. Spice it up a little bit. What do you think that you haven't done that you would like to do? Because it is about knowing yourself. That's the whole thing. I think we've gotten that across, is that your sex life will be better if you are honest with yourself and you know yourself, and then you're honest with your partner. And the thing is, if your partner is not willing for you to be honest about what you want, then they're not the partner.
Get a new partner.
Yeah.
Get a new partner. There's somebody who's gonna love it. I mean,
that's right.
Why settle? You know what? Life is short, and you're given what you're given, and it's supposed to be to enjoy. God, the universe provides for us to enjoy life. So, you know what? Sex is a part of life. Whether it was made for procreation or what, we enjoy it. You enjoy it. I don't think that we should allow anybody to rob us of the simple joys that we own. That's ours. Your simple joys. And if you can't be respected for wanting or trying to share your joy, then who are you living for? And I'm just talking about anything, like eating pizza, but somebody wants to eat a salad. Eat a pizza, order a slice. Like there's so much going on. And as like I said, death has taught me that we do not have time to waste time. And by cheating ourselves of simple pleasures, what's the point? I mean, life is a big ball of things, but there's things you compromise, and there are things you come together with somebody. But if nobody wants to compromise with you, the people you're with, then you got to reevaluate what you have. And I'm talking beyond sex, although sex is very important. So that's what you got to do. You have to want to learn you. And then you have, if you're going to share your life with somebody, share who the hell you are on all topics. Share what you like and what you don't like, and then move forward.
And I think the irony is that when people are together for a while, sex seems to be the piece that falls outside. Like it was like a temporary piece, and then it doesn't have a place anymore. And listen, I grew up that way because I grew up with parents who were like that. They stopped after a certain point, and it's a big joke that that after you're married for a certain period of time, you don't do that anymore. And I think that's changed a lot as generations have gone by, but still, it still sometimes exists. And it's something to consider, is that if you always say that sex is a part of your relationship, period, it doesn't matter how old you are, that's what it is. And if you both make that important, because, for a while, it's always a joke too, especially with white women. We always joke and say, oh, when you're married, like we don't, there's no time for that anymore. It's like we're not very sexual beings, and it is a social stigma that's unfortunately joked about, but it is also kind of true sometimes. But if you just say that that's part of it, like I came to the conclusion that I like sex and I love sex, and it's so I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, I'm a white woman 50 years old, and it's like, I can't, that's BS. It's like, I'm going to keep doing it until I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm that's why I got to make sure my hips are in good shape, and you know, and I don't want to break a hip doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want in my head, it's going to be a part of my life until I physically can't do it anymore. Basically, that's what I'm saying. And when you have that mindset that this is important to me, like, I like this. This is a great release. It's fun because you have a connection with somebody. You get intimate with somebody. But for whatever your reasoning is, so think about that. Like, if you take a look at your life right now and say, you know, how good is my sex life right now? What's going? You could say, well, there's no sex life, it's non-existent. Okay, if you're okay with that, that's okay. But really ask yourself, are you okay with that? Are you okay with not having a sex life? Is it because you're not with anybody? You know, okay, COVID is different. We're blaming, you know, especially if you're not dating anybody. Take that out of the mix for a minute, though. But if you say, no, I'm okay, I don't have time for that, that's fine. But just make sure that you're true to yourself, because it's one thing to just say that, but when you really deep down say, God, you know, I really do miss somebody. It's like, well, like Margie started the conversation. She says she misses it. It's been a while for her. So she's saying, she's honest about it. She misses it. And
straight up and down like 6 o'clock. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
What'd you say, Ed?
I said I'm straight up and down like 6 o'clock. I'm gonna say it. Yeah, you miss it. When I was taking care of Eric for 5.5 years, it was 5.5 years I didn't have sex, and my biggest joke is that the doorknobs were starting to look good to me. You know. So go ahead.
Oh no, that's it. I think I was done. I don't know.
No, I loved it. I'm sorry if I interrupted you, but you.
No, you didn't.
Right,
you didn't. Not at all. No.
And people are still, even people at my age are still like too shy to talk about it, and you got to respect that, because you know, I think I'm open enough for like a tribe, but if there's anything that I can tell you about me is I don't take one for the team. Sex is very important to me. Intimacy is very important to me. I know what I like. You better bring something to the table or I'm gonna hurt your feelings. Point blank, period. And if you know you're not good and you're not trying to be better and you still get wounded when you're called out on your shit, then you shouldn't be having sex.
Oh, you brought up a good point. You brought it because we have a few minutes left. So if you think, so this is mostly for the ladies, but the guys could be on this too. If you think that one of the reasons that you don't like to have sex is because that you don't think that you're that good, then do what people do is that when they don't think they're good at something, they learn. I know it sounds funny to say that, but listen to conversations. Watch a porno if you need to. Get some ideas. You know, if your sex life is not that great, and on both sides, spice it up a little bit. Get some ideas. Learn some new positions. Look at some books. You know, learn tantric sex.
Watch porn. I love porn.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just get some ideas. It doesn't mean that you're disgusting if you're doing this stuff. It just means that, you know, you're learning. Like, what you know, how do you know if there's a position out there and you've never done it before, how do you know you might not like it?
Yeah, you're like, what's that pretzel? How do you get this? Can you try it? Just for it. I'm flexible. You know, I'm sure you're flexible too.
Listen, I just realized we've created another topic for our show, is the importance of physical fitness and flexibility for sex. Because
Lisa can talk about
we could talk about like how important it is to stay in shape to continue a great sex life, because that does make a difference. If you're out of shape, if you're not in good health, it's going to affect your sex life. My God, it can even affect your performance, because some men, their health, I mean, do guys know that? Diabetes, cardiovascular disease, that can actually affect the function.
Yeah, it pulls the blood away from you guys. Without blood, there's no maceta, there's no hammer. So and Lisa said that's me too. I guess what I had said about knowing yourself. And then Iritza wrote, hi ladies, I'm here but driving and I'm listening. Okay, I was wondering where you were, Iritza Ditsa.
And Karen Marie's on. Karen Marie said she said sex, yes, favorite topic.
Yeah, and thank you for saying that, because not a lot of people like to listen to it, but then they're closet fanatics, but they won't even share it with their partner. So it's time to pull the curtain back on shame and fear and just go fall on your face. It might be fun. Allow yourself to fall on your face and learn new things.
That might be a position. You fall on your face and your partner falls on top.
That's what I'm saying. It might be fun. Let's try it.
You know,
That's
here's what I
awesome.
want you to do, ladies especially. And you know what, guys out there, if you're feeling like too that you're not getting, you're not getting what you feel like you need, speak up to your partner, but don't catch your partner. Because I think this is where guys go wrong, is they catch the women when the women are tired. And then they start going, you never have sex anymore, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, catch when you guys are both in that moment where you don't want to talk about it because you're both in great moods. And you bring it up in a loving, compassionate way. But women, do the same thing. What I want you to do is, if you feel like your needs aren't being met, and you really want to jump back into this, say to your partner, let's talk about sex. Can we, here's a cup of coffee, we're nice and relaxed, let's talk about sex. Let's talk about what you like, what I like. It will, especially if a woman does this to a guy that they've been with for a while, most guys will be blown away by a woman being that bold to take on to that conversation. And you'll be surprised how open they will be to that conversation. Unless he's just not that into you, then that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But
and do it without judgment.
Men love having that conversation because they love sex. I mean, men always get deemed as the people that love sex, and we're just, the women are just sort of going along with it. But women, take charge. Admit it to yourself. Say, I love sex. I love it. I want it. This is what I want. And you'll be surprised how much better your sex life will be when you start taking control like that, because your partner loves stuff like that. And again, if they don't like it,
yeah, and ask them what they like. See, a lot of times, I'm not a selfish lover at all. I'm just gonna let you know what I like, but I want to know what turns you on, because I want to participate in that. When I have sex, it's like a job. You want to be the best at it that you can possibly be, whether it's a booty call or it's a long-term relationship. You ain't never gonna forget me. So that's how important it is. But yeah, ask the question, play the song, let's talk about, I'm tone deaf, sex, baby, and walk up to your partner and say, let's talk about it. Let's talk and dance, make it fun.
And when you create this too, seriously, write this down in a journal privately where nobody can see it. Write down what you like, write down what you don't like. Maybe there's something that your partner's doing that you really don't like and you haven't voiced it. And it could be something as stupid there's moments, for me, I don't like talking sometimes during sex. Depends on the conversation. There's certain pieces that I like, and there's other pieces that I don't. And there's sometimes where it's like, oh my God, just shut up. Just shut up. And
do you think it or do you say it?
No, I've done both. But yeah, you have to say it. And, sometimes they get insulted by it because they can't help it. Talking, sometimes it just comes out naturally. But don't let that be the game changer. If your partner does something that you don't like and they can work on it, then give them the opportunity to do that. If they choose not to, that's on them. And then you need to figure something else out. But maybe they don't know they're doing something. Maybe
exactly
down there you haven't said. I'm telling you, if they're down there for a while and you're like, okay, just come back up.
I was just gonna say, a lot of ladies have complained to me about men having oral sex on them, and I'm like, if he does not know how to handle your little man in the boat, tell him something, because if you're not finessing the little man in the boat, it's just sending shockwaves up you. That's irritating.
Yes.
Say something, because that starts the whole desires for sex is when the oral sex is good. What's up, cuzzo? My cousin Alf is on. So you have to be oh no, go a little down, and just don't be a drill sergeant, but
direct.
And if direct. You don't know how to do that, because not everybody's gonna know how to do that, then have a conversation. Hey, puppy, what is it that you least like to be done to you during this? And then just start like that. Make it fun. Start with the least like, because people always know what they don't like before they can express what they do like.
And here's another piece too. See, we're getting on a roll and we're getting towards the end here because we did start a little bit late. But here's another piece too, is that once you start writing down what you want, what you like, what you don't like, then give your partner the permission to do it as well. because people are very afraid to say sometimes, even if you've been with the person a really long time, to really be truthful about what you like. Like, and I'm going to give you a very specific example, and we're going to end on this, oh my God. But, you know, like, people are very weird about the ass. Like, it's just, it's, you know, but you'd be surprised how many people like some sort of stimulation in that area, and they're afraid to say it because they're going to think somebody's, my partner's going to think I'm weird. You know, but listen, it doesn't mean that you have to do what they're asking. Just give them the permission, the space to be free about saying it, just like you can. And if they say, like, you know, if your partner says, oh, you know, I really want to have anal sex, whatever. If you don't like it, you just say, okay, I thank you for sharing. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't know if that's going to be very comfortable for me. So you're honest, but at least you gave them the permission to do it so they don't feel uncomfortable telling you what they really want. So you want to open that space for them, and they should be opening that space for you. And if they're not opening it, you put it out there. And if you get something back that you didn't want, like some negativity, then that's their stuff. That's not yours. You don't take it with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Talk about it. Alf, say something on this subject, but I thank you for bringing that up, because I don't always want to be like, so, you know, so tactless. But yeah, I think if you've never tried nothing, then how dare you say you don't like it?
Yeah.
Try it at least once.
Yes.
You know, and don't be afraid, because, you know, a lot of people, I don't want to get too into it, but a lot of people are afraid of anal sex. Oh no, that hurts, that hurts, that hurts. Let me tell you something, when you're aroused the right way, that opens up like a flower. So don't cheat yourself, and don't say, oh, I don't like something, unless you've at least attempted it. But if you're going to go into something with fear, like you mentioned in the beginning of this, then you're going to be like this.
Yeah.
But if you go into it with a mindset of, you know, let me experience this, and willing to do something, then yeah, your whole body relaxes. And when I tell you that, that's something that you almost feel it go like that, and then blossom. And then you're ready to enjoy, like ecstasy to the hilt. But, you know, comments, please. Even after the show's done.
Now I want to have sex. Now I'm in the mood to have sex. So
yeah, well, you know, shut your face, because I have nobody.
All right. So yes, listen.
Comment.
The conversation. Yes, we'll check the comments. So if you have any questions on anything, you can always instant message us too, or message us. But we are out of time, and so let's just quickly mention our Thursday topic is on orgasm. So we're going to talk about what orgasms, like the joy of orgasms, the miscommunication of orgasms, why people have orgasms, what they do for people, because men and women sometimes think very differently about them. And we will have our guest on. And who was our guest? Margarita, who was our guest Thursday?
He is from New Orleans. He is my guy I met during my 50th birthday weekend in New Orleans. He owns the Black Rose Parlor, and you can find him on Instagram under the Black Rose Parlor. Yeah, so he'll be in. His name? Encino, right? Encino Bruno, I believe. Encino Bruno. But I just think he's awesome. He's going to be sending a bio soon. So I think it's a good take. And I think in conversations like this, we need men to be, you know, we need to have a nice Oreo of balance when we're talking about these subjects. So yes, so make sure you know, tune in on Thursday.
So like, does that mean that means you and I are the two cookies on the outside, yeah, and is the cream in the middle?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
The bun. He's the hot dog.
And before we go, Nancy Green popped on. Hi, Nancy. Glad you're here. So
hi, Nancy. I haven't seen you.
So it's going to be a great conversation. And again, for the next 2 weeks, this week and next week, it's all about sex some sort. So get yourself all hot and worked up and hot and bothered, and write your list. Jump on your partner sometime tonight, maybe tomorrow, whatever.
Overwhelm them with
That's
just
right.
love.
That's right.
And
all right,
energy. So yes, Thursday, like, share this video, send your coffee mugs, your selfies, taza de café challenge. let's do this. Let's get it on, people.
Yes, and you guys, thank you so much for coming on and staying on a little bit later for a little bit longer than an hour. We really appreciate that. And so we really just adore doing this show and adore having you guys on. So thank you so much for being here. And again, my name is Lori Monaco. I am the Badass Buddha. And be you, be real, be extraordinary.
And I am La Margarita, the Gladiator Guru. And remember, breathe in the beauty, breathe out the bullshit. Have a great day. Ciao. Arrivederci. Sayonara.